It checks all the Gridiron Gamble boxes. All of them.
You
No
guys are
one
right.
looked worse than this team did last week.
Hello world, and welcome back to Gridiron Gamble, the only podcast that puts its money where its mouth is. I'm your host, Rich Ron, and I'm joined by the entire collective, The Disciple, Brett Colson, Donnie, DP Peters, and the resident moose himself, Mo Nawara. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Listeners, rate and review on your podcatcher of choice. 5 stars only, like Dexter Lawrence, the interior defense of the New York Giants, which is a split contest tonight, and who Mo wanted us to potentially put on the card. Mo, give us the cap, the quick and dirty cap that is going to be delayed because the game will have happened, but you have real American dollars on Big Blue.
I love the Giants here. I think Dallas is just a whatever team. Like, why is a whatever team laying 6 on the road against maybe an okay team? Like, not a good team for sure, but I don't think the Giants are just like a team that's just going to get steamrolled. And isn't this quadruple circled? They've been getting pasted by the Cowboys by 20 every game for 3 years, and now they finally have a decent team. Aren't the Giants going to come out and just give 105% for you, Rich Ryan? And then just when I look at Dallas, it's kind of similar to how I felt about Cleveland last week against Washington. Against the Giants. Just like a team that I don't trust to run away from anyone. A team that I view like they do have a better offense than the Browns, obviously, but like very one-dimensional offense. So I just think it's going to take 150 and 2 or something like that from CeeDee Lamb, and I'll just pay to see it, basically. Maybe he can do it. He can do it maybe against this Giants secondary, but I got to see it.
Our loyal listeners are in the car right now. Maybe they started their workout, walking the dog, and they're either nodding along because Mo nailed that cap or Mo lost his ass. And the Dallas Cowboys went into MetLife and trounced the New York Giants. A body blow for the collective last week in Circa Sports Million. 3-2 on the card. Our first winning week of the season, getting us all the way up to 5-10 through 3 weeks of the NFL season, but you gotta start somewhere. We are, of course, in Circa Sports Million. We submit a 5-game card every single week. Each of us puts 1 game on, and the 5th and final game comes from the collective aggregate rankings. If you see a team during the selection process here on YouTube and it's in gold, that signifies that it is in that collective member's top 5. Donnie, the only winning record last week, 4-1 in his top 5. Everybody else equally went 2-3. And Donnie's winner that went on the card, we should explain this as well if you're not following us on Twitter at Gridiron Gamble. We moved some things around. Brett put on a loser for a loser, so that was a wash. Mo put on a loser for a loser, so that was a wash. But Donnie flipped his pick. Mo's over there struggling. You had 2 losers. Stop struggling.
I don't even know what I did because you guys, I just said stamp my name on it.
You offered a -6.5 that lost outright.
I don't effing care is what you said. So therefore, we have free reign to do whatever we want.
First of all, you put a -6.5 on the card that lost outright. So we tried to save you there. And we tried to save you with the Saints, who were so close to getting the win and the cover. But something Dallas Goedert, when 3 Saints players run into each other and there's a Goedert just running 60 yards free down the field. We would have gotten lucky there. Absolute domination in the box from the Eagles on a per-play basis, but it would have been nice to get a dirty cover there. But it was DP who switched sides. He had Will Levis and Dem Boyce, but did the right thing and put Malik Willis and the Green Bay Packers on the card. Well done, DP.
I mean, Will Levis is something. I mean, let me tell you guys, that guy is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
On to the Week 4 slate, and we start, as always, with split games where there are 2 hosts on one side and 2 hosts on the other. And this is a contest that Brett Colson will be at.
The Bills make me wanna shout.
Brett is circling the wagons down to M&T Bank. Is it M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore to see his Bills take on the Ravens. The Ravens are -2.5 in the contest. And Brett has the ultra devil side, as the entire world is going to line up and take the Bills. They're going to in this contest. They plastered our Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football. And this just seems like leverage season.
Jaguars? Am I the only idiot who liked the Jaguars?
No, we love them in the preseason. What are you talking about? I was on the over. I was on Trevor Lawrence. You were on whatever, 35 wins in a season. Like, it's just, that's what we were doing.
Remember back in the day when the Jags made the AFC title game? I was super high on them that year. I feel like the Jags have always been a flagship team for us. But Brett, you're on the ultra devil side. Everybody's going to line up to take the Bills, including your boy, in the top 5. But I put it at the bottom because I know this is going to be super popular. I'm trying to get a cheap point, but you will not do so, sir.
Well, I can't wait to hear your cap, because this is a throw the power rankings and the ratings away. This is about matchups and then contest play. Well, everybody, like you said, everybody's talking about Josh Allen, MVP, Bills are the best team in the NFL. But the Bills defense lives and dies with its defensive line and their ability to generate pressure with 4. I think they're going to struggle against mobile quarterbacks all year and teams that can punish them up the middle of the field. Once you get to that second level of this defense, you can absolutely feast, and Baltimore knows that. I think they're going to attack it that way. I think they're going to control the tempo, and it's probably going to be an ugly game weather-wise. Yes, I'm going to be there for that. I see this as a really good contest spot, and I think this is a really fair line. I actually think this probably should be Ravens -3. I think the Bills are just really, really overvalued right now, and Baltimore is probably undervalued coming in 1 and 2.
So, do power rankings matter or do they not matter? Because we were on this very show last week, and you were stumping for the Eagles because ratings matter. But now all of a sudden we're throwing... The Bills are the number 1 team in football right now, right? Because the Chiefs don't try until the calendar turns to January. The Bills are for sure the best team in football. Can we say that?
But when you do your ratings, it's against the collective of the league, right? Matchups matter. I think this is just a really poor matchup for the Bills.
Styles make fights for sure. But, I mean, why would the Ravens get a stop is my question in this game. 27th in pass defense EPA, 24th in success rate, 19th in pressure rate. Why would the Bills have any resistance when they have the ball? I don't know why. I don't know why the Bills wouldn't just continue to pour it on as they have the entire season. Josh Allen is just on a whole different level right now. Mo called it. This is his Mahomes 2023, where he's just taking a bunch of dudes and having the most insane offensive output right now.
We also know what is in there. This is part of the experience. He looks amazing.
But the same can be said about Lamar. Lamar's got the idiotic throw in him as well. So I think they're two sides of the same coin. So I don't know. I think this should be closer to a pick'em, to be honest. And the unfortunate thing is I believe the entire contest will believe that, and the Bills will for sure be a top 5 side this weekend.
All I've seen this week is that this is wrong team favored.
That's
exactly
insane. That's insane. I think there will be some people who I think the Ravens are going to be more popular than we think.
I think it'll be one of those 1K asides, 1K like 1,300, 900 aside, like and the Bills will be in the top 5, so the Ravens will be slight leverage. We move to a NFC North matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers, another one where there are 2 hosts with this game in their top 5, and we'll start with Mo, who is buying Sam Darnold at his absolute peak here in Week 4 of the 2024 season.
Guys, isn't Brett on this? Isn't Brett all in with me here?
Brett
this is
has
a massive
the Green Bay Packers
play
in his top 5.
How is this a contest play? Everybody
because
loves the Vikings.
Packers, once Jordan Love is announced in, they will 100% close -3.
Why would you ever play Jordan Love? And Jordan Love's got a sprained MCL knee, whatever the hell's wrong with him. What are they going to do? Risk the whole freaking franchise on this game?
This game is so much
pause
bigger.
Everything. I gotta pause everything. I gotta pause it. Isn't Jordan Love playing and it's known and this is part of the line? Like this is not going to 3, Mo.
It already went to 3 some places.
And it got bought immediately. This is not going to close 3.
I think
is
this line is reflective of Jordan Love playing. I don't think Jordan Love will end up playing, and the line will shift, and everyone will be on the Vikings. That said, I still pick the Vikings because I'm a fucking fish. So whatever.
How is the Vikings the fish side, dude? The Vikings.
Everybody loves Sam Darnold. ODB thinks he's good.
Okay, listen to me for 1 second. This is 2 teams that are flying high. One of them has played against Super Bowl contenders, and that's the Vikings. The other one is playing against the Colts and the Titans.
With Malik Willis.
Yeah, and winning with a guy who might not meet the threshold to play quarterback in the league.
The Vikings are thrashing Super Bowl contenders, guys. Why are we not more impressed by this? Crushing them. 14 plus points ahead of Super Bowl contenders.
Where did you power rank the Minnesota Vikings this week in the National?
Ahead of the Packers.
Is that with Jordan Love? Is that with Jordan Love?
I mean, yeah, by a lot, because I did it as like there could be Jordan Love, there couldn't be Jordan Love. I don't know yet. I was treating it, this is like Monday or whatever, I was treating it as it could go either way this week. Previous weeks, I was rating it like it's not going to be Jordan Love because I didn't think he was going to play. This week, I think he actually will play. He's been practicing. This game is so much more important than these other AFC games. I think he's going to go. And that's the other thing is I'm kind of excited to fade hobbled Jordan Love. He's not going to be 100%, right? I mean, this is... I think he's going to be like 80, and that could be enough here for the Vikings to have an edge. And Jordan Love is a player that while he is amazing when the pocket is clean, he does make some dopey mistakes when it's not even like dopey really. He just he tries to do too much, and it's Brian Flores defense. They're going to make him uncomfortable at some point. So I think he might make some mistakes here. I like the Vikings quite a bit, man. I think it's going to be a good contest play if it closes 3. That's why I put it at the top of my card, honestly. So if you guys think that's not true or we see something different as far as the way the line is moving when it's getting to closing time, I'm definitely open to changing this, even though I do like the Vikings. I just think it being a contest play is why I put it near the top here. Yeah.
Of course, if this closes 3, then the Minnesota Vikings will be value in the contest. There's no doubt about that. I just can't get past the fact that the Packers are 5th in passing offense EPA, and 2 of the games have been played by Malik Willis. I understand the level of competition.
Volume, though.
I understand, and I understand the low value of competition. I understand.
That's coaching, man.
Yeah, LaFleur, this is better coach, better quarterback.
Work. I know.
I love KOC. I love KOC.
Okay, but also it's easier to have a good EPA per play when you throw it 15 times.
Without a doubt. Brett, you're the one that has the Packers in your top 5, so I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, I think Green Bay is a scary good football team right now with Love coming back. Like, I have them rated, you asked about the power ratings. I have them 6th ahead of the Vikings, who are 7th. And it starts with defense. These guys are flying. They're generating pressure without blitzing. They're giving this talented secondary opportunities to make plays. And now you bring back a quarterback that's seen Flores before. So, how many surprises are there coming into this week? And a coach who just took Malik Willis and did those things with Willis, I think he's going to put Love in a spot where he's going to be all right this week. I like the Packers a lot. I rarely bet on games anymore, but this is one I do have in my account along with the game we just talked about.
Let's move to another game where Brett and I have a team in the top 5 and Mo has the other side, and that is Rams at Bears. The Bears are 3-point favorites in the contest. And I don't know about you, Brett, but I absolutely love fading LA, McVay, and these guys coming off of their absolute Super Bowl, winning last week outright as touchdown dogs against the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, in Chicago, we saw signs of life from a guy you called a clown in Caleb Williams last week. Offense started to look a little bit better, and we know how good the Chicago defense is. Caleb had a really tough start to the season. The Titans are a very good defense. The Texans are a very good defense. So I can see continued strides for this Bears offensive unit, and this Rams team is just there's nobody left, right? They got some O-line people back, but there's still no Kupp. There's still no Nakua. Tons of 12. Kitchen sink game last week. Big punt return. I just don't see it in back-to-back weeks, and that's why I'm laying the 3. What about you, Brett?
Yeah, I think it's just stock high, stock low off what happened last week. It's unbelievable the Rams won that game. But they also did it against a Niners team that was without so many key players. I have the Bears rated higher than the Rams, even with Caleb. The clown, he was bad last week, guys. Like, he's just,
yeah, I'm like, why is Rich saying this offense is dysfunctional?
He was bad. Numbers,
Is
like
it
passing
his fault?
yards aside.
Is it his fault that they get to the 5-yard line and they go halfback dive, sprint option? Now, I'm not saying that's not going to change this week because Waldron is still the OC somehow, some way. Yeah. But I'm not blaming Caleb for everything that's going on.
Who cares who we're blaming, though? We're capping the Chicago Bears, and they stink at moving the ball.
Yeah, this is fair. But this Rams team is just not an NFL team. Who are these people that are playing football for Los Angeles?
I guess all you need is Kyron Williams. The guy is just the greatest running back we've seen in the last 10 years, apparently.
Brett, give us the bull case. You got the Rams in your top 5.
What? No, I don't.
Excuse me, Mo. Apologies.
I was like, wait, what?
Okay. I was like, wait a second. Anyways, I just think really dysfunctional Bears offense that unlike Rich, I'm not confident at all. I don't think it's shown us anything. I'm really wary of backing the Rams off a win that was basically fake, like Rich said. I mean, they got soundly outplayed by the Niners. Special teams was huge in that game. Not repeatable probably, but that was the Niners. I mean, this is the Bears. Like, I don't think this line should be 3, but I don't know. I guess I could see this being popular on the Rams side in the contest too. People are going to like getting points with, but this is you want to talk about better coach, better quarterback, and getting 3 points. This checks all of those boxes. I mean, I just don't see how the Rams should be getting 3 here. I know that Chicago has a better roster on paper, but this is a large difference in quarterback quality, large difference in coaching quality. I think this line should be south of 3. So I had to click on the Rams, and I put them in my top 5 in case you guys like them. But yeah, I'm actually not sure if I'll bet this just because, like I said, I don't really want to buy the Rams off a fake win, but I really don't think the line should be 3.
All right, let's get DP involved because he's fading my beloved. The Broncos travel to Jet Life to take on the New York Jets, and they're catching 7.5. And DP, they're in the middle of your 15, which goes to show how much conviction the rest of us have on this contest.
Middle? I mean, I don't know if I would call this the middle. I mean, come on. This is bottom for sure. I mean, listen, this Jets team still worries me. There's some life from Bo Nix and the Broncos offense. I don't know. I'm going to be very wishy-washy on my argument here. I think the Jets D was the unit that everyone really looked at as the foundational unit for this team, and I think they've been extremely underwhelming than what was expected, so that's a bit concerning to me. I mean, I'm scared as hell to buy Denver off the win that they have, so I'm not going to, run to the bank and slam this one as a bet, but I don't know, 7.5 feels too high, where on the other side, I can see, am I just going to buy into this Jets team that just beat a horrific Patriots team? I mean, I don't know. It's I hate both these sides. I don't want anything to really do with it, so just give me the 7.5 at the end of the day.
Definitely a lot of rule of Brett. Can I fade both of these teams this week? You had the Jets winning by a bazillion in prime time. You had the Broncos winning outright as big dogs when probably every teaser parlay had some sort of bucks in it and everybody's pissed. So they might go to the well taking the points with Denver this week. I'm buying into the passing attack, you guys. The way Rodgers just was able to spread things out and dice up the Patriots last week. Denver has one really good cover corner in Patrick Surtain. Big injury to Alex Singleton. Apparently he tore his ACL in the middle of the game last week and finished the game with a torn ACL and is now on IR. But I just think the Jets are going to have the pick of their spoils when it comes to passing the ball. They can distribute it everywhere. You get Braylon out there in the pony look. You've got 2 backs out there that can catch the ball. All eyes will be on Olu Fashanu stepping in at right tackle for Morgan Moses. But, I mean, by all accounts, this guy is an absolute rock. And pass protection is his biggest strength as opposed to running run blocking, which, I don't know, it's just the comparisons to DeBrickshaw Ferguson are just so eerie between the two of them. Just great pass blocking, struggles a little bit in the run blocking game. Just a giant, too, quiet guy, not like our guy Mekhi Becton, who couldn't stay off social, couldn't stop talking 24/7. Olu just goes about his business, and yeah, I'm excited to see him step in. So,
how can you trust Aaron Rodgers in the passing game? Because you saw it once
Are
against
you
the Patriots?
How can he trust? I don't know how, but did you see him in the Discord? That's the most excited I've ever seen Rich in my entire life.
Well, yeah, that should probably tell us that we should just be so far away from the Jets. It's not even. What is the temperature on the Jets Discord? That's the Discord I want to know, Rich. Is everyone, pants off, just freaking dick pics into the Discord? Because if that's happening, we're out, fam. Okay.
So, no, what was exciting about last week was it was the exact opposite of what we saw against the Niners. Olbert came out and did something he never does, and he blitzed the crap out of Jacoby Brissett, which showed some fungibility in the defense, right? We're not just going to roll the ball out and do our thing on a week-to-week basis. In terms of Nathaniel Hackett as well, starting the game with 6 straight passing plays instead of run, kick was a nice change as well. So these guys actually rubbed a couple brain cells together and did something creative, which was exciting. And then how can you not, just the way Aaron moved in the pocket and was scrambling, how could you not be excited about what you saw? I mean, the guy has the arm still. Like, he is an absolute howitzer connected to his right shoulder, deadly accurate. Any other quarterback throws that Garrett Wilson pass, it's going the other way for 6. But Rodgers was able to just throw an absolute dime in that spot for the touchdown.
Who is the favorite in the AFC East right now?
It's got to be the Bills. Has to be the Bills.
The Bills are probably favored over the field.
I'm asking optimistic Rich. I've never heard him talk like this before.
Well, I'm getting there.
I can't wait till we ask you about the Jets next week. We know what's going to happen.
Well,
I shouldn't have bought into it. Blah 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 blah. I'm a sucker every year. Blah 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 blah.
If we lose, that's concerning. This is not a good team. Okay, this is not. Mainly because it's just not a good passing attack, right?
Dude, I literally have no idea what to expect in this game because I'm just like, what, is Denver the worst offense in the NFL? That's what they look like for 2 weeks, and then Bo Nix comes out and looks like Steve Young. So I think the Jets should thump them, but I don't know what to think.
Well, the defense is extremely healthy right now. The Bucs had a ton of injury concerns last week. We don't have those, right? Our biggest is CJ Mosley, and honestly, Jamie and Sherwood has come in and looked like an athlete as opposed to CJ Mosley looking old as fuck out there. So I know we miss the brains out there and him having the green dot and calling the defense, but Sherwood has looked fine as his deputy so far. All right, enough of this game. Nobody has a strong opinion on this. Let's get to the final split contest, which is a rematch of one of the most fascinating games last year, Titans at Dolphins. It looks like SNOOP might be at QB for Miami. -1.5 in the contest. Mo, the Titans soft bubbled your card. What's your take here?
My take on this game is basically that for once in their entire NFL season, the Titans are supposed to have the better quarterback in this game. So I'm just like, okay, I feel like maybe they should be minus here, but
are we sure? Are we sure that
I'm
Will
not
Levis
sure.
is better than
I'm
Snoop
not
Huntley?
Sure, but shouldn't he be?
Very
I don't know.
questionable.
Snoop Huntley, obviously, I am kind of expecting him to start. He obviously did have a decent run with the Ravens, but dude, you're going from playing in, I don't know if I should call the Ravens the best organization, but they're definitely in the top 5 to playing for the Dolphins. So, like, that's a big, big difference here, And it's just, I think the Dolphins, might just be toast, man. Like, all their power is in their playmakers, and now that they can't get these guys the ball, it's a disaster. Dude, they scored 3 points on the Seahawks. I mean, come on. This team is done, dude. I know we're in week 4, but they're done. They should be 0-3. They should have lost every game so far, and that was like with Tua for some of these games. Then they got destroyed by the Bills. I think, dude, I put the Dolphins, I gave serious consideration to putting them 32 in the power rankings. I think you have to. I mean, they're really, really bad.
I wanted to make the joke that Tyler Huntley outplayed Joe Burrow in a playoff game, but he was slightly worse. He had negative .07 EPA per play. Joe Burrow was at .1. So didn't technically outplay Burrow in a playoff game, but got pretty close. All right, those are the split games. Let's get into the Lone Wolves. Your boy has 4 Lone Wolves this week, and we start with Brett's favorite team in the NFL. After falsely backing them multiple times, he's off the bandwagon, but this is the week to put an X next to Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns as they play the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are favored by 1.5 points in the contest. This soft bubbled my top 5 because I couldn't put full-throated support against a team that still has question marks at tackle as Conklin and Willis are still not practicing, and the Vegas rush is worrisome, although all the metrics are telling me that they stink. 30th in pressure rate, 27th in adjusted sack rate, but my eyes don't lie when I see Max Crosby, and that guy puts the fear of God in me. I understand wanting to buy the Raiders after getting punked at home by the Carolina Panthers, after Antonio Pierce is at the podium saying that they might have to make some business decisions because some guys are making some business decisions. I understand that. But this is the week after the Browns look absolutely inept at home against the Giants and have looked inept all year on the offensive side of the ball. If there was ever a get-right spot, which we saw from Carolina, it would be against this Raiders secondary. DP disagrees, and he usually hates the Las Vegas Raiders, but he's got the Raiders in his top 5.
I mean, you want to talk about buying low, good spots to buy low on a team. I mean, come on. They just got their doors blown off by the Panthers. I mean, this is a great spot to buy low. And, I mean, you mentioned the defensive line, not getting after the quarterback. How about this Cleveland offensive line, or what is left of the offensive line? I don't know. Deshaun sucks as is. Put him behind a bunch of backups. How is that guy going to do? I mean, come on. If anyone has a chance to score points in this game, it's going to be the Raiders offense, for sure. And we have seen absolutely nothing from the Browns offense that would ever make you think that they're going to score points. Ever. How you can back the Browns here is unbelievable. Now, this does feel like it's probably going to be popular because it's the freaking Browns. But come on, man.
I feel like Brett's brimming over there with a pro-Browns take.
Well, I wanted to click Browns because the points you made all make sense. I do think the Raiders are actually going to be popular because of everything that's happening with Cleveland and this offensive line and everything right now. But I don't even know how to cap this game. Now you got Devontae Adams on the injury report. Like, I don't know what this game is.
Devontae, New York-itis he's got.
Yeah, Devontae's making a business decision.
Get him on the plane. Two-thirds. We'll do the deal right now. Get Devontae in time for us to head over to London. The one bet, I just bet an Amari Cooper ladder this week. It's happening. This guy is going to go absolutely berserk in this contest. We move to the Monday night second game. They're going doubleheader again. And I guess I'm just dead wrong on this one. I don't have a strong opinion. It's in the middle of my card, slightly below the fold. But I don't know how you can confidently say that the Detroit Lions are for sure a better football team than the Seattle Seahawks. One team, this is the only cap against Seattle. They haven't played anybody. That's it. That's the only cap that I've heard this week, is that they haven't played anybody. Mo is making all the faces over there. That's the only.
Well, have they played anybody?
Well, that's all people are saying. They haven't played anybody. Okay, so they can't be good at football. It's impossible.
No, I don't know,
for the
but
Seahawks
don't read
to be good
me
at football.
one stat on Seattle. That's all I know. I'm not kidding. Don't read me one stat on Seattle this entire discussion. They have played the most pathetic schedule possible.
Easily. 32 of 32, without a doubt. But that doesn't mean they can't be good at football. What have the Lions done except for running straight? What have the Lions done?
Why can't that work here, though? And
because
look at these injuries on the Seattle defense.
The strength of the Seahawks defense is the interior defensive line.
Where? Who?
Going
Leo
up
Williams?
against arguably the best offensive line in football, if not top 3. I mean, what?
Is he playing?
Without Frank Ragnow.
What about these Seahawks players? They have like 4 key starters probably not going to play in this game on defense. And, dude, if there's ever a rule of trenches game, this is it. The Lions are miles better on both trenches. Miles, guys. They should destroy the Seahawks up front on both ends of it. And we've seen what happens when Geno Smith ends up under a lot of pressure in these games. Dude, he's going to just be overwhelmed. He's not going to be able to. I know he's been great, but once the Lions front starts getting to him, I mean, dude, these tackles are going to get ruined by Aiden Hutchinson. And then on the other side, the Lions should just steamroll the Seahawks up front with their running game as well. I think this is just a massive trenches mismatch on both ends. I think the Lions should be like -5, 5.5 here. This is a Super Bowl contender against a team that has played.
The Hawks aren't?
Patsies.
The Hawks aren't?
I don't know, but I don't think so. They're probably a middle of the pack team, guys. They're probably a decent team. And they're playing a Super Bowl contender on the road. And the line is 3.5. And the public is smacking the Hawks right now. Give me the
Lions
line.
The Lions will be top 5 in the contest. I will bet a pizza on it. Every fake sharp I've heard this week. Every fake sharp I've heard this week loves the Lions.
Everyone's firing the Seahawks. And the line's coming down.
Brett Pylon, you've got it opened 4 and it's 3.5, so meaningless half point. Brett Pylon, you've got the Lions in your top 5 as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first truly big test for this rookie coach on the road against an explosive offense. I need to see it from Seattle. This line doesn't make any sense.
Explosive offense? What the hell are you seeing from the Lions that makes this an explosive offense?
We saw it all last year. All last year.
They
and all they've done this
team.
year
they also
is
had
run straight.
1,000,000 yards against the Bucs, and they just didn't
I guarantee you,
punch it
Goff
in the
is.
red zone.
I guarantee you, Goff is bottom 3rd in ADOT. Guarantee it. Explosive offense. They're just running straight.
That's worked,
but it's not explosive.
But we know it can be. They have JMO now in this offense. They can go deep with this kid.
No Ragnow.
I know that
Ragnow.
matters. That matters. But I need to see it.
Best center in the league. It matters.
I got to see it from Seattle. This line doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's at least 1.5 off.
All right, another game. These last 2. This is my 3rd to last pick, and I gave you some guff, DP, for buying the Raiders off a win, and I'm technically buying the Washington, formerly racial slurs, formerly football team, now commies, off of a win. This is my 3rd to last pick, okay? But this is rule of Mo. This isn't the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison, quad injury. Trey McBride, concussion. Probably not going to play. If it's Michael Wilson, WR1, Greg Dortch, WR2, this is not the Cardinals passing attack that we've bought into coming into this year. So I'll take above a field goal with a Washington passing attack that should continue to have success against a Cardinals defense that is 32nd in success rate defending the pass. But DP, you've got the other side in your top 5.
I mean, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. plays, so I'm not even worried about that. I mean,
yeah, come on, 2 limited practices.
Yeah.
Rich is acting like the guy's a corpse. What is this?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it in the preseason how Mr. Trey McBride is a little bit overrated. I mean, come on. So, like, big deal if he misses. Who cares? How are they going to stop this Cardinals offense? Let me know.
How are the Cardinals going to stop Washington?
I mean, I'm willing to sell the Washington playing the greatest game in the history of Washington's, like, last 15 years. I mean, come on.
Dude, Rich loves buying high. I mean, what is this?
No, stop it, buying high. I'm the one who just bought the Browns. I have the Browns soft bubbling my card, buying high. Get the fuck out of here.
Washington won't play a better game than that all year.
Without a doubt.
I mean,
That's
I also
fine.
think if you want to talk about popularity in the contest, I mean, the Commanders getting the hook, I think are going to be way up there. Way up there.
Yeah, especially after the Cardinals pretty much got smacked last week in the trenches against the Lions. I could certainly see that. So, and my last one, I just quit. I quit. I folded. They dealt me 2 cards. I didn't even look. I just threw them in the muck because I'm not even going to peel them because I don't know what the hell to do with this Colts team. I've been wrong on them every single week. No matter what was going to happen this week, this game was going to be my last selection, and I just pinched my nose and took the better coach, better quarterback.
This is obvious what you do in this game. What are you talking about?
It's obvious.
One team can't score more than 20 points. You take the plus. Like what? That's all you need to know.
We're sure the Colts can score 20 points against the Steelers defense.
Who has the higher variance to get over 20? You know the answer. It's Anthony Richardson, okay?
That's literally my reason.
One team is capped at 20. One team could score 50, might score 3. You don't know, but you take that upside.
I'll tell you this. The Steelers this week should have the shortest defensive touchdown odds in the history of the NFL.
See, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Between TJ Watt and Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah, going against one of the best offensive lines in football, so maybe they won't be as dominant as they have been. Not that they're not going to be good, because I love the Steelers this year.
Offensive line doesn't matter, though, when you don't run the ball. I can't believe it's 2024, and every week I have to come on here and beg Shane Steichen to run the ball.
What do you mean? That's all they did last week?
Finally.
So why wouldn't they hear?
But they didn't run with Richardson as much. Like, Richardson needs to be getting 10 carries a game. That has to be the stone minimum for this to be a functional offense. And if it's because they're trying to preserve him, I kind of understand it. But you also are never going to function as an offense as you're supposed to if you're not running the ball with him. It's a tough quandary to solve, but it's true. Everybody, you guys all have the Colts in your top 5. Mo, pile up.
It's my reasoning is literally what Donnie said. It's 2 awful offenses, and one of them is going to throw deep, so they might stumble into some points. That's what it is. The Colts might be able to randomly score. The Steelers are going to try to get 4 yards every play. I don't think that's going to work. It keeps working because they only need to score 18 points every game because they're playing awful teams. Maybe the Colts are another awful team. I don't know for sure. But I feel like between 2 bad offenses, I want the one that might be able to hit a couple big plays. The Steelers won't hit any big plays. They don't even try.
I don't know how this total's 40, by the way. I know that's low, but it feels like it should be 34. I mean, I don't like.
I mean, it's an NFL game featuring the Pittsburgh Steelers. How does the total not have a 3 in front of it?
It can't start with a 4. It just can't do it. It's not possible.
All right, move to Brett. Brett has 2 lone wolves, one bubbling his top 5. And it's the Atlanta Falcons hosting the New Orleans Saints -2.5. Brett, I guess you're just lighting a flame to all your Saints futures, punting New Orleans and taking Atlanta.
Well, I don't think they're very good. And when you add the injuries up front to this offensive line that was already rated very poorly coming into the season, I think this should just be Falcons -3. I have Atlanta rated higher than New Orleans in my rankings. I think this is a better football team, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue selling the Saints. What they did the first 2 weeks was just obviously not sustainable.
Why not though? So this was a very easy cap for me. Okay. I looked at the Falcons depth chart and I said, do they have Jalen Carter? And I was like, oh, they don't have Jalen Carter. So I put an X next to New Orleans because Jalen Carter destroyed the New Orleans Saints last week. The Saints have some injuries in the middle, much like the Lions, and they just had no answers for this absolute menace that was in the middle of the Eagles'
But it wasn't
defensive
just
line.
that. The Saints got
that was a big
destroyed
part of it.
all over the field last week.
And Atlanta, in the middle of their defense, has a bunch of olds that are currently grading in the 60s right now on PFF. So I don't think they're going to be able to take advantage of the matchup as well as the Eagles did. And on the other side, you've got 2 offensive injuries for Atlanta, and we just talked about it. I forget which quarterback. All these bad quarterbacks, right? If there's pressure, they turn into a pumpkin. We saw it in the game against the Chiefs. As soon as the offensive line went out, Kirk Cousins reverted back to being an absolute pumpkin, wasn't able to move the ball as effectively as they were, and that was that. I'm still buying into Kubiak. I'm still buying into this Shanahan light style of offense, and I think they're very much a live dog in this spot. In my top 5. Your other one is much lower. You continue to buy the Houston Texans. -6 at home against our Jags.
Not my Jags, because the Jags are cooked, and like you add some injuries to this. I think Evan Ingram might actually matter. Something strange dropping passes in the end zone last week. Now Gabe Davis is hurt. Gabe Davis doesn't matter to begin with. Like I don't trust this offense. Lawrence looks lost, and the Texans are a good football team. So I think this should probably be 7. Tell me why the Jaguars should be getting less than a touchdown here.
There's 2 reasons. 1, this is the week. Okay. Oh, there's 3 reasons. 1, this is the week. 2, you're buying the absolute worst team that played last week in prime time. The third one.
Is this our first Illum of the season?
Every single moneyline parlay, teaser, people that don't understand Wong, that just make teases with favorites, survivor pick will be the Houston Texans after what the Jacksonville Jaguars did on Monday night. DP,
I can't
you got
believe
our Jags in the top 5.
I can't believe Brett clicked the Texans after what you just ripped off, Rich. It checks all the Gridiron Gamble boxes. All of them.
It does.
No one looked worse than this team did last week in primetime. It was horrendous. They've looked crappy all freaking season, and then they just put the icing on the cake last week against your Buffalo Bills. I mean, come on. Everyone is going to have the Texans. Everyone is going to have the Texans. It's going to be...
This contest loves the Texans, too.
They really do. They really do. We got Donnie revved up, so we'll go to his one and only lone wolf. I got to keep the sounder going because he's buying the red rifle. Dandy, Andy, Dalton, they play another cat. The Bengals at home. Carolina 4.5-point home dogs in the contest, DP.
I mean, you guys can have your fun with this Bengals team. What do you want me to say? The Panthers look halfway decent with Dalton. They got a good offensive line, and the Bengals cannot get after the quarterback at all. So why can't Dalton just sit back there and do whatever he wants?
Such an easy spot. Sell the dead cat bounce. Buy the Cincinnati Bengals. It is just an obvious spot. This look ahead was a full touchdown last week. It is now below that at 4.5. It's dipping lower. It's 4 in real life. So there actually might be a tinge of leverage in this spot if people are lining up and loving on Andy Dalton after what he did last week in Las Vegas. The Cincinnati offense didn't do anything wrong on Monday night. Evan McPherson missing some field goals was probably, or a field goal was probably the factor there. But Burrow looked fine. This offense got T. Higgins back. He looked fine. The connection between Burrow and Chase looked more normal. 2 touchdowns there. Killing me in guillotine, unfortunately. Brutal. But I think this is just a beautiful spot to buy the Bengals. You guys, I mean, everybody knows how much I think Joe Burrow is overrated, but this Carolina defense didn't have to do much last week against a Raiders team which has very little talent at the quarterback position isn't very schemed well. A team that is still, despite winning a pro football game by infinite last week, Carolina is still being outgained on a down-to-down basis by 1.1 yards per play. So I don't think one game against a very bad team is going to change all the bad aspects of this football team. So I think the Bengals are in a great spot this week to go out and beat the crap out of a very
Close your ears, Mickey Doff, but is this a must-win, guys?
Must win.
Yes, if they don't win, they all die. They just shoot them on the field. Like that's just what. No, it's not a must win.
I mean, 0-4. What is it? What is it? 2% of 0-3 teams make the playoffs?
Yeah,
I mean, what is
0-4? Especially in that division too. Good luck.
Last lone wolf, or excuse me, Donnie's. That was his only lone wolf. Last lone wolf is Mo. His very last pick. He put an X next to the sleepiest team in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, I don't know what to do with this game.
What a resounding cap.
Well, what are we supposed to do? Is Justin Herbert playing? What is this line? It's coming down like he's playing.
I mean,
I don't know what's
cares?
going
They're
on in
laying
this game.
7. What? I mean,
I know, and it's like divisional
Wasn't
home
last
underdog
week-
getting 7 is like.
Wasn't last week absolute malpractice from the Chargers? Why is Herbert out there? Just punt the game. Like, you're not going to face a tougher defense on the road, staying out east, everything bad going against you. What was the point of putting him out there and potentially risking him for further injury?
And now
That's
missing both tackles, though, that's my thing in this game. It's like the Chiefs could just. And the Chiefs. Guys, if they're ever going to take a team serious, it's probably a division rival that the only one that maybe has a quarter of a prayer of making them sweat this year. They probably want to come out and pound the Chargers. This team actually stood up to them the last few years and made them play hard. And they probably just want to come out and end the Chargers season early. Okay. I could see the Chiefs actually trying here, especially a wounded division rival, guys. But I don't know. I feel like maybe 7 is way too much if Justin Herbert's in there. This line is like, what is this line telling us? Like, do you guys even have an opinion here? Because the Chiefs should be like -10 if this is Herbert's backups.
Well, the opener was 8.5, and money came in buying the Chargers. Obviously, that money comes in assuming that Justin Herbert is going to play quarterback for the team. So you would think it would get back above 7 if Justin Herbert is not in this game.
No question.
Which would then make the Chiefs very popular in the contest. That's my read on the situation.
I mean, tell me why we should get off the fact that it's the sleepy Chiefs still. Like, why?
Like I said,
Laying
it's
a
a
touchdown?
division rival, the only one that's been making them sweat. They might actually try in this game. And the Chiefs are going to win by 20 if Justin Herbert is... I don't know how close he is to 100%. I mean, he tried to go out there against the Steelers, and he literally like fell down on a handoff. I mean, it was ugly.
Yeah, or they might just run the ball 40 times with the freaking alligator guy, whatever the hell his name is. Like, who knows?
First play of the game, Malik Neighbors just rips off 30 yards. This guy is
Catch?
a problem.
Was it a catch?
A problem. Yes.
Good.
He just put a corner in an absolute blender with a start and stop and was wide open down the field. That dude's a problem. Lone Wolves. I got the Browns, Hawks, Commies, and Steelers. Brett's on the Falcons and Texans. Donnie's got the Panthers. Mo's got his Kansas City Chiefs. All right, boys. It's time to make the card.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Donnie had the best record last week, so he leads us off with a majority pick. It is a home favorite. Who is it, Donnie?
Well, my top pick got sniped or something happened. So let's just say
Sniped by the collective.
I won't say who it is, but yeah. So we got the Cardinals -3.5 against, I guess Rich's Commies because he's all about them. Sorry, buddy.
All about the hammer and sickle. You guys have your fun.
This
We
is
got
a
another
sharp
favorite.
side, dude.
Have fun. Have fun with the Cardinals as favorites. Speaking of favorites, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals selling the dead cat bounce of the Carolina Panthers. Mo, you are up next. You kind of teased it earlier that this was your top pick, and you're still kind of on the fence. But who do you got as of right now?
Right now, I've got the Vikings. So if we decide this isn't going to be a contest play, because that's honestly the thing I like the most about it. So if we decide this isn't going to be a contest play.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay.
Because Mo's number two pick, which I don't like, by the way. We'll have a discussion in a moment. I like the pick, but I think it's going to be the most popular play in the contest. Brett, finish us off. You'll be there.
I will be there.
Rooting on.
No, I will not. I promise you, I will not be rooting on the Ravens. But if they do cover, we will get a point.
I'm so happy
Cardinals,
Brett is
Bengals.
invested again in the Bills.
Yeah, I'm historically really strong with Bills games too. So yeah, I'm sure this will play out. I'm sure this will play out well for us.
All right. Let's get to the collective machine. I'm scared about this one, guys.
The collective chooses the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You don't like this
So Mo,
one?
What are you scared about? Bucks
I'm
money
scared
line.
this is
Get
gonna-
out of here.
I'm scared this is going to be the most popular pick in the contest because the Bucks are going to close as favorites. That's what I'm scared of.
They should close as favorites.
I know that because
They should
neither
already be favorites.
AJ Brown nor Devonta Smith are going to play in this
Well,
football
yeah,
game.
what is this line? I need someone to explain to me how
Was
the
Lane
Bucks
Johnson
going
to play too? 'Cause
Yeah,
he's-
Blaine
I mean, well,
Johnson,
No,
Mekhi Becton.
he's protocol. Those guys never
Well,
come back.
Mekhi, I think, came back today. But, I mean, come on. What? Who's going to score for the Eagles? How are
But
they
that's
gonna
the
move
problem.
the ball?
Rule of Brett. The entire contest is seeing this, you guys. Everybody is going to be on Tampa Bay.
This was going to be in my top 5, but you can't. It's,
I mean,
Dallas
really? I don't
Goedert
know.
is WR1. This is insanity. I know he went for 170, but good luck trying that again.
It's the
Are
Johnny
they
Wilson
really
coming
going to
out
just
party.
be like, the Bucks got their doors blown off by the Broncos?
But it doesn't matter when the Bucks close when the Bucks close -1.
that's the thing. Is people are going to see
People are
that.
just going to see that
Yeah.
and click them. So this is very TBD. If we were to not put the Bucks on,
The whole contest
next-
is fucking TBD.
the next highest pick, and I think you guys would like this, is the Indianapolis Colts. Number 2 in the collective machine. You guys have your fun with that. I'm done with Anthony Richardson. I'm done. But I trust you.
What if this is the week, buddy? Come on.
Bad offense is road favorites.
Going down your card, Mo, your next one would be the Lions if we don't go with the Bucks. And you were stumping pretty hard for Detroit football.
I like
there
that.
was one consensus game that did not make the card. Nobody had a very strong opinion on it. I actually had the highest, and I was the only one that had confidence points on the New England Patriots plus 10.5 traveling to San Francisco to take on the Niners, because although Debo was back at practice today, this still isn't the Niners. If there's no George Kittle, we've got Trent is injured, and then he has mud butt, and he's still might not be in shape because he didn't do a damn thing all summer. I know we don't want to sell the Niners off of a loss like that as touchdown favorites, but this is a lot of points for a New England team that had extra rest, extra time to prepare, has enough weapons to come back if this gets into garbage time. But none of us could muster any strong of an opinion on New England in this spot. So let's talk Survivor briefly.
Do we have to?
We're all out.
Do we have
We're
to?
all out. We said last week it wasn't useful information to anybody. But we said last week that the best pick was the Jets. And that I called 27-7. It was 24-3. Pretty close for your boy on that game. So, Mo, you write the article. You do it every week no matter what. Let's give the people what's going on in the landscape this week. Where would you go? Tell us all about it.
Well, I like the Jets, but if you made it through last week, you probably had the Jets. So I guess that's probably not an option for most people. I think the 49ers are obviously going to be very popular. So that brings up a super interesting one because a lot of these games are already in the end game. You might have more EV clicking on the Patriots than the 49ers in some of your leagues. So like you literally have to look and see if like say you're in like a league of 15 people left and everyone has the 49ers left and they're all going to click the 49ers. If you click Patriots, technically you have more EV because if they won, you would just win. So I would look out for that big time if you are already in the end game, which is, I mean, the people I know that are playing Survivor still, they're already down to like 10 people. I
have a friend of a friend in a 200-person contest that chopped. They got heads up after last week and they chopped. Yeah. I'm in a contest. It has a re-entry, 104 entries. There's 5 people on their first life, 8 people on their second life, and 18 people that can rebuy. So just like Circa, 70% of the contest is gone. So bloodbath this year.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati's a reasonable play as well. This week's, it's tough. I mean, the Chiefs...
And if you're alive, you obviously haven't taken Cincinnati yet because they're 0-3.
And the other thing is, like, some of the planning for the future and smaller pools has to go out the window now. So it's like, you can just use the Chiefs now. If you were like, okay, I need to save the Chiefs, they have all these easier games. Well, now you can just use the Chiefs. Same for the 49ers, obviously, but everyone's going to probably pick them this week. So I think the Chiefs is reasonable as well. I know that divisional road games are the literal worst, but I'd still consider it with Herbert being hobbled.
I think I might have taken the Cardinals this week.
Brett, I don't mean to put salt in the wound. Are you completely busto, even in DK?
Oh, yeah, everything's cooked. Except for the work Survivor, where we get two shots. So I'm still alive in that one.
The rebuy. Yeah, I'm in. So I talk about this maybe once a year on this podcast, but my guy, Tim Parker, Grape Drink, has the greatest Survivor contest. You can only pick a team to win once. F Grape.
I entered
you can
that
only
one
pick
this
a
year.
team. You're in this one, DP?
Not anymore, but I did. I was.
Oh, nice.
Even
you can only
with
pick a team.
with the rebuy. See ya. 2 and gone.
You can only pick a team to win once. You can only pick a team to lose once. It is a very fun Survivor pool, and you get 1 rebuy. So the Cowboys busted my first bullet, but your boy had the Jets last week, so we are marching forward. The card, again, Cardinals, Bengals, Vikings, Ravens, Bucks. Bucks is pending us thinking on it a little bit. Again, at Gridiron Gamble on Twitter. And then Mo, we'll see where the Vikings game ends up. If it gets to 3, then yeah, Vikings is going to be a nice little smash spot where we're not getting the full field goal and people might take the Packers -2.5. But that is TBD. Follow these guys on Twitter at Brett Colson, COLLSON, at Donnie_Peterson, at Mo Nuwara, NUWWARAH. I'm at Rich T. Ryan. Enjoy the football this weekend. We'll see you next week. Peace out.